Hey guys, what is going on? dontcrash here, and I was thinking about starting a new series. I asked a question on Twitter a couple of days ago whether people would enjoy just me going over a couple of my old projects, because I have a ton of those sitting around that are probably never going to be finished. So here's the first one. This file is called Don't Crash because I got really long into writing this, and then I didn't save for a long time, and then when I saved it I almost got a blue screen or something in that direction, and yeah, Reason was frozen and I thought I'd had to kill it and lose the file, but then it finally saved, so I called it Don't Crash from then on. And yeah, it's a bit of a, I don't know, mellow dubstep tune. There's a couple of vocals in here, and the story of those vocals is actually back when I was in 5th or 6th or 7th grade in school. I was in the school choir, and we did this traditional Indian song that was just this beautiful yeah, Indian a cappella. And yeah, I got one of the choir girls to come around and record this vocal. So yeah, here it goes. So as you can hear, it's a pretty melodic, chill dubstep track, and yeah, the vocals fit quite nicely, and we're now proceeding into this breakdown where I've got this nice piano. Actually, I think it comes in, yeah, it comes in later, but yeah. So yeah, there are a couple of synths in here that I kind of want to show off, and this is going to be quite spontaneous because I have no idea what I did back then. This is a couple of years ago, as I said. But why don't we start with this Combinator 5? Well, it's called Combinator 5, but it's actually Maelstrom, so let's see here. As you can probably also tell that I made this in Reason 4 because I'm still using the old mixers, and it's now going into this big mixing SSL desk, so I'm gonna have to use the sequence and the rack for now. So what can we see here? This looks like the FAD Maelstrom patch. Looks like a stock patch actually, with an EQ just to take the low end out. Let's see how it sounds with low end. It's actually much more beautiful, but it would have interfered with the sub bass in the drop. That's why I cut it, I think. So yeah, that's that, and then let's see what else is in here. Yeah, just a regular protection grant, the standard Reason piano, as you can probably hear. I mean, I'm starting to recognize the Reason piano everywhere in all sorts of productions. Once again, just high passed it probably, and that just goes nicely with the pad. But then I'm hearing this bass. Where's the bass? Oh yeah, Thor 1. This is a cool one. Okay. But I think it might take too much time to explain it. Let's just see what I did here. So apparently it's 2 oscillators, and they're going into a bandpass filter with quite a bit of resonance. So that sounds pretty cool. And then we've got an LFO1, that's this one. Oh yeah, with the waveform number 6, which is just a ramp down. So if I play with a rate here, you can really hear the effect. So that's affecting the filter. And then the entire thing goes into a unison. It would be mono without, but it just gives this nice stereo spread. Then a bit of EQ to take the grittiness out a little bit. That's a good rule to remember. Mid-range is always gritty. So that's pretty clean, and then if you boost the mids before the distortion, suddenly everything sounds so different. Got some the Matrix stuff right there, and then it's just 2 distortion units and a bit of reverb, which just gives it a nice bit of ambience. And now I have no idea how to reset that patch, so let's put it back at the settings where it was. I think it was something like this. Where is that? Oh, right, the EQ. I was wondering where the distortion was coming from. Maybe that's 1 octave too high. There we go. Okay, so that's that bass. Quite simple, actually. What you can remember is if you send raw waves through a bandpass filter with a lot of resonance and a nice envelope, then with some distortion you can get these kind of talking bass effects. And that's something I'm really fond of, actually. So there, this is just playing in the background here, along with the piano, and then we've got the drums coming filtered up. Still just a pad. Hi-hats. And then I think there's a... Yeah, those are the drums. Yeah, here's the hi-hat loop. And then with that together, sounds like this. And then I've also got these big drums here. Let's take a look at those. So first off, we've got a delay pattern on the entire drum bus, apparently. This looks like my drums bus right here, and then we've we've got the tape distortion on everything and the rolling filter. What's that? Rolling filter multi-tap delay. But it's got this EQ in there, which means even though we've got a delay and a stereo delay on the bass drum, it means that the bass is not going to interfere with everything because it's going to be cut out by the built-in EQ of the reverb. So that's also a really handy tip, to just EQ your reverb and delays so that the bass gets taken out, because that can really, really help clear your mixes up. And then there's a filter on those, I believe. But yeah, I'm not really sure what does what. So, well, they're just they're just filtered down in the background, and then everything gets louder and louder, especially these hi-hats, and then we proceed into the breakdown. Also, the reversed symbol before the breakdown is something to take note of. And then we have the vocals. And for those of you guys who don't know how to import vocals into Reason 5 or below, this combinator is just called Jenny Vocals, and it's got an NNXT. And here are the vocal files. I recorded them in Ableton, and then I put some of them through Melodyne, which is a pitch correction software for some slight pitch correction. And then I routed each one of these individual vocal tracks out to a different audio output in the NNXT. You can do that by clicking the group, and then down here somewhere there's audio out. See, that's 1 to 2, so left is 1 and right is 2. And then if we click through those, oh well, it looks like I actually didn't even use that. But what I was planning on doing probably was to route all these samples into different outputs, and then you can mix these samples individually, because here you can only adjust the level within the sampler, and out here with the mixer you can do aux sends and panning and everything, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's simply an NNXT with a Scream 4. And if you have some, I mean, now we can hit edit sample and do it like this, but if you, for example, have some silence in the front of your sample, you can simply adjust the start knob here, and it will allow you to basically start the sample anywhere and start it instantly instead of having to wait for the silence to pass. So yeah, that's pretty cool right there. So here we have the vocal, and if you put that on solo, if we take a look at the processing, it looks like there's not much more on there than a combinator with some EQ and compression, as well as a de-esser. That's always really important with vocal processing, so that the S sounds don't sound too sharp, and you can also see the reduction here, I think. Every time she says S or T, this will go down. And if I bypass that, you will hear that the vocals actually sound quite sharp. So yeah, the S sounds are just taken down a bit by that. And then there's also some reverb on there, but I'm not really sure where that comes from, because I don't see it here. Maybe it's up in the... no, it's definitely not up in the mixer. But yeah, those are the vocals. So let's move on a little bit. I mean, obviously with MIDI triggering, we can't have this vocal playing right now because I started it after it started. But basically what's happening is that the drums are coming in more. The synth is being filtered up, and just before the drop it opens up completely. So what makes this drop even a drop? I mean, there's no heavy bass in there and stuff, but there are still ways to distinguish your main parts from your intros and build-ups. For example, right here you have everything filtered down and it's all very subtle. There are not a lot of high frequencies in there, but as soon as we get to bar 49, every filter opens and the high frequencies are allowed to pass through, and that gives a more intense feeling. You can also tell that part of the song is bigger simply because there's more stuff in there. And yeah, maybe I can zoom out a little bit here, but we can see that there are a couple of groups here that don't appear in the first couple of bars. I mean, during the build-up here. For example, Dr. X number 3, more hi-hats. Then Maelstrom number 1, oh, that's the sub-bass, that's not going to do anything, because it's also in the build-up. But here, Combinator 10, strings, and Combinator 11, strings as well. And those are just rich and wide, and that will open up the song immensely. So if we combine them with the vocals. So that works really nicely. What else? What else? Obviously the hi-hats and open hi-hats come in again. Yeah, so we have these vocals play out once, and then here's about the halfway mark, and then those strings are taken away, and we've got Combinator 9. So what's this? Oh, that's that deep piano I was telling you guys about. So maybe let's take a look at that. So we've got the Protection Grand standard patch. You can find that in the factory sound bank if you just hit Protection Grand or put Protection Grand in the search bar. And then what I did was I EQ'd all the ultra low bass out, but really boosted the 150 mark, because that's where all the goodness sits. Actually, if I hear, you can really hear the nice warm bass right there. But let's not overdo it. And I also boosted the high shelf a little bit. But there's not much high end in there anyway. Okay, I then put that through a compressor, and that's what gives that really intense, rich sound. This is quite nice because it's dynamically pleasing, but combined with everything else, this compressor delivers a much richer sound that cuts through the mixer much better. And that's about it. I don't even have any reverb on there or anything. Another good trick, or another thing that's important to notice here, is that the velocity is really low, and that's what makes it so awesome. If you put it high like this, I mean, obviously it's very epic, but it wouldn't fit the feeling of the song. maybe it's subtle, kind of like this. So yeah, the nice deep grand piano. And then when we proceed to the next section, I think, yeah, that's more of the dubstep part, because I have no idea what happened there. Because we've got a wobble bass and I can't find it right now. Yeah, this is the sub bass. Oh yeah, Thor number 3. And I'm pretty sure I made a Seriously Sick Synth Sounds video about that, or a chill step bass tutorial or something. If I haven't, just drop a comment and I'll make a separate video about that one. But I'm pretty sure this is already up. And then this patch you already know as well, from the video about instant melodies. It's that trick where I told you if you put the minor scale into an arpeggiator, you can just put that to random and it will generate awesome melodies, and then you can bounce those out. And in this case I haven't bounced them out because I like a bit of randomness in my music. But it just constantly fits, and if you filter it up and down as well. But I'm not really sure what does what on this patch. So yeah, that's the dubstep-ish part. And then this breaks down as well. And this is just a standard breakdown. We've got the bass still playing, but the drums are gone, and the pads are being filtered down and everything. One last instrument here is the 8-bit Nintendo lead synth. And I made a video about that just when I was starting to become active on YouTube, and that was in 2011, I believe. And that was one of my first actual videos, but the tutorial is up there. And then here's the last build-up that I made. And we can now hear this high square wave that hasn't been there before. And it's here. It's a subtractor with just standard settings. 2 square waves, octaves 4 and 3, slightly detuned, and then with a tone of release, or decay in this case. And then once again, with the cymbals and everything, I mean there's a reversed cymbal somewhere around here again, right there. Here's my percussion, I think. These are those subtle things that will make hit drops have real impact, so we'll play that back. And once again, this is just everything combined. For example, here we had the vocals and the strings. And then later here we had the dubstep-ish kind of part, but it didn't have the strings and stuff. So one might argue that this is the only first actual drop because everything is in there or whatever. I'm not much of a music theoretician. So yeah, there you go. That was dontcrash.rns. I don't really know what else to comment on this. It's just an old project that I dug up. And yeah, if you enjoyed this and you want me to take a look at some more of the old stuff, there's always some good stuff to be learned there. Then yeah, I'll make some more videos if the response is nice. So thanks for watching, dontcrash out.